All right, we are live on Black Power Radio. This is your Monday night edition of Black Power Radio, your most informative news broadcast on the radio and listening and visuals here on YouTube, Black Business Matters, as well as Busy One Radio Entertainment. I am your co-host, Queen Janae Nzinga, and my lovely co-host,
Hey,
Dr. Truth Bay in the building. Where your little
what
music?
up, family?
What's up, family? How y'all doing? You
Yo,
can
what up,
raise your
cuz?
hand
Hello.
if you choose.
Hello.
If
Black
not,
Power,
that's
baby. What's
fine.
up?
No face, no
Yes,
face. Look.
right on. We got a full house tonight, family. Oh, we're so grateful to have you on Black Power Radio. I am your co-host, your friendly neighborhood policy analyst, Dr. Truth Bay, and we got some special news, an update on the movement. What is Black Power, family? We've been discussing this for a hot minute, but it's getting better and better, sweeter and sweeter every week. The movement is taking another shift in the echelon, and we'll hear from our national chairman, Shaky Mom Akbar, in a few, just what kind of shift it is taking. So, how you doing tonight, family? Today is another week. It is getting warmer out there, and we are celebrating National Poetry Month. That's right, National Poetry Month. So this is a underrated month where we are going to highlight some of the best in spoken word. We also are going to be reading from some of prolific authors from the past, present, and the future, which will be you. So if you have a poem of consciousness or something you want to dedicate to Black Power, we want you to come on the show and share it with us, because spoken word, it's just something about it is as close to as musical to your soul and uplifting it as much as possible. So with that being said, we're going to record the mic, and I do have some updates later on during the show concerning an initiative called SOS Haiti. That's right, SOS Haiti. So you got stars like Akon and Rihanna and many, many more that are taking on the initiative of sending an SOS and focusing on our youth in Haiti. And this initiative just came out a couple of weeks ago. So I'm so grateful. Yes, we are part of it. And we're going to share more details on what that is. So again, thank you for tuning in Black Power Radio. We're here every Sunday and Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and 7 p.m. Central. So if you're tuning in here with us, we are grateful. We are the most informative radio show for Black people on the planet. And so we again are grateful for you to be here. So that being said, we're going to relinquish the mic to our national chairman, Sheikh Imam Akbar. Take it away. Peace and Black Power.
Peace and black power to our host, Sister Janae Nzinga, and to our comrade, Sister and Queen of Los Angeles, Dr. Critical Race Truth Bay. We have the most informative radio talk show on the internet, anywhere on 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth. If anyone can check and see why my video is not coming on, that'd be great. But I did push the button and it's acting in its own way. But we are launching on this Saturday, April the 12th, the Black Panther movement, a structured organization with multiple components of made up of Black Panthers. And we are very proud to just share in just spearheading, because people say they don't really want no leader. So we're just sharing in just spearheading, to share in spearheading of movement. It's across America, and all the Black Panthers share a part of this Black Panther movement, and we are just proud to be in association with it. Queen Janae has a major component. Our beloved brother, uh, let's see, Crazy Horse has a major component. We have brothers throughout the South. Brother K.D. Walt has a major component in that movement. Brother Malik out of Atlanta, Georgia, has a major component to this movement. And we have them throughout New York. Brother Ajabu out of Indianapolis, Indiana, major component of this movement. And that list goes on into Vegas. Our brother, our newspaper, is he on tonight? His brother newspaper on, Queen Janae? Uh,
His name is Yasu, not Brother
bro-
You Newspaper.
Brother newspaper, Yasu Shakur. Is it Shakur or Shakur?
Shakur. Yeah,
Sure.
he's
Shakur, I'm gonna
coming
get it
on.
right, brother. Newspaper himself. He prints and edits and publishes and pushes a strong well, I ain't gonna use
Once
the
you
word
say
tonight
it,
for the sake of the airways, but a non whatever paper, but it is a pro Black Panther paper. It is a pro Black revolutionary paper. And it's a phenomenal paper at this hour. And if you don't have your share, you're going to be square. So make sure you order up your papers for coming of May 19th. Excuse me, the Views paper will be out by May 19th, hopefully. We love y'all so much here at Black Power Radio. And we have launched this movement with the multiple components of the right spiritualism. We got a comedic side. We got one with the unk side of the Black Panther. We didn't leave anybody out, right? Then we got that self-defense, that defense team. Brother K. DuBois, Brother Chief Crazy Horse, Brother Hot Sauce, the boss hot sauce, the queen Nzinga herself, a part of the defense team. And, we have a whole defense department. And this thing is being broken down into multiple ways, sharing of the leadership. This has been the problem. How can we pull all the real Black activists together so that we'll be effective? So this is we have been able to do cleverly. And Dr. and Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz has shared with us multiple concepts to add strength to this movement. And he's been essential. And I'm just sharing with you and being up close and personal tonight. I don't know of anything. I'm going to be public and on the air that Malik Zulu Shabazz or myself, that we have done ever in anything towards negativity towards Black people. Hell to the no, hell to the no, hail to the no, and hell no, and hell to the no, no. We ain't working with no government. We ain't buying no government. We're not no goddamn implants. We ain't never fuck with the police in our life. And not, I like to become front and center with us. And then I'll put my two. I'm not gonna bullshit you. Before I bullshit you, I won't even stop and talk with you. I'm an ambassador now, but I don't mind putting the gloves on with any one of them that talks that yang that and lead this. He got me. We don't fuck with the government, and we don't fuck with the police. And we fuck with the police, we locking them motherfuckers up. Just like we do. How in the hell we gonna be some kind of? We just locked them up in full circle with me and go into South Carolina with me and shake this no good bastard while we got him in fucking rehab. Chuck Wright, we have been on him for a year. How long, Queen Janae or Queen Dr. Quick Race Truth, how long we
we've
been on
been
Chuck
on
Wright?
him my whole life. I'm from Spartanburg, South
Ooh,
Carolina.
oh my God,
Okay.
Lifetime,
I done
lifetime.
bowled a strike up in here, up in here. But let's talk about Chuck Wright for a minute. Go right ahead. Yeah, we need to talk about
Yeah,
this guy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Chuck
Mm-hmm.
wrong right. What
Mm-hmm.
is not to say about this fool? Let's
My
say.
God. Mm.
Let's put
Pertinent
him up.
record.
Yes. So just recently, I'm going to put up some videos of the recent FBI probe on
Mm-hmm.
this gentleman here, Chuck
Mm-hmm.
Wrongright. It's Spartanburg. Um, well deserved. So I had the encounter personally with through Lavelle Lane, who is one of our beautiful souls that we're gone too soon, based on the abuse of Spartanburg Detention Center, which
Mm-hmm.
again is supervised by Chunk Wrongright. In
Mm-hmm.
October of 2023, he was walking while black, unfortunately, and he was detained in the Spartanburg Detention Center, in which a few hours later he actually lost his life. So,
Mm.
beloved mother, Beverly
Miss
Reese,
Beverly Lane.
who
Uh-huh.
we have
Mm-hmm.
advocated for. Yes. I can't see the screen. Where's everybody? Full screen ahead.
I'm all right.
There
It's
we
black.
go.
It's black. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So,
Just real
Queen Mother
quick,
Beverly.
hold on. Contact Bishop Williams and let him know we in a new studio. because he was in the old studio. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, I
Who
had to
got
go
Bishop?
in and get some people out of there. They ended the studio.
Who's the
Yes.
who has Bishop
Bishop
Williams'
Henry
contact?
Williams.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Yeah, Bishop Henry Williams is a 90-year-old reparations fighter in Oakland. God bless his soul.
God
He's been
bless him.
doing this for over 60 years.
Up in here.
But nonetheless, yes, here we go. Okay, new link. All right, so now let's revert back to Mr. Chuck Wrongwright. Yes, family. So he has under his belt quite a few black deaths, which have been swept under the rug. But as of a week and a half ago, it has been confirmed that an active FBI probe into Spartanburg County Sheriff Chuck Wright has been fully activated, mainly because of the corruption that has been spurring up. So let's pull up. We're going to share the screen for a second, and we're going to, because when you hear it from a bunch of white people, usually it's more believable. So we're going to send this link in a second and connect you to the actual news story, and it will cover it from there. But this is a long time in the making, family. He has been in those family who has been in Spartanburg all their life. You can testify. He is literally a walking monster, an amoeba. But he's only doing his job, family, because as we mentioned before, they come from a history of slave catchers. And so, as he continues to do his job to try to annihilate us, God is on our side. And that's one thing that he has forgotten to do. These devils, they seem to fuel on their own power, but understand that this is only the beginning. So let's hear what the update is concerning the FBI probe on Mr.
All new tonight at 6 o'clock. For the first time tonight, we're hearing from Governor McMaster on Spartanburg County Sheriff Chuck Wright taking a leave of absence.
Now, this comes as Fox Carolina Investigates has confirmed through multiple sources with direct knowledge there is an active FBI probe into Sheriff Wright. Now, one of the sources confirming to us that they were directly interviewed by FBI agents regarding nepotism in the sheriff's office and alleged misuse of government funds by the sheriff. Another source telling us they too were interviewed by FBI agents, and those questions were also over nepotism as well as previous cases.
Just look at this man's face, family. Okay. That is the face of racism, live
The
and direct.
devil, the devil
The
himself.
devil himself.
The white man is not a devil. The white man is the devil. Okay, and that's
We
what he
can't
has
say.
done.
And show you right.
There you go. Haven't changed not one bit. Governor McMaster is no different. He has the governor, but we got to take it one bit at a time, family. There's too many families that's been devastated by this man alone.
That allegedly showed favoritism. This all stems from a state ethics investigation that we've previously reported on. The county has confirmed the sheriff has taken a leave of absence, but has not said why. Today, we asked Governor McMaster for his thoughts on the situation.
I've known Chuck Wright for years. I've always known him.
Good God, family. I had to pause right there. If Colonel Sanders was a person in real life right now, this would be it, family. Honestly.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's why I left South Carolina. I'm sick of looking at them.
I'll tell you, he got the Dixie accent and everything down pat. Woo, I'm scared.
Has not said why. Today, we asked Governor McMaster for his thoughts on the situation.
I've known Chuck Wright for years. I've always known him to be a very responsible, good sheriff. I understand he is taking leave, and that's all I know about it.
Now, the FBI
He
has
is
told
in
us they're
rehab.
not able to provide comments
Okay.
on the potential existence of an investigation.
There you go, family. So that's one out of many, many stories concerning Chuck Wright. But if people can tell you he's in rehab, yes, to cover it up, but it is misappropriation of justice, so to speak. And I know that the spirits of the loved one that lost their life, especially Lavelle Lane, who I believe would have been 29 had he have been still alive, that is calling out and crying for justice. Now, the thing is with Chuck Wright and a lot of these sheriffs, they believe that in a so-called Christianity that is not behooving, not the relationship that you have with God the Father and God the Son, Yeshua, who's my Savior. But this sort of Christianity that they believe in is the slave masters' Christianity. They truly believe in enslaving black folks, honestly, and they think it's a divine purpose. So that's the type of confusion that we don't want for our babies to suffer under. Divine order and is happening, and a relationship with God is is also in order. But we hope that Chuck Wright gets everything that he deserves. We are not too privy on those who blatantly utilize their power to constantly destroy our family. So we'll keep you updated on what's happening. And while he's in rehab, I know God is going to be working some miracles for justification for these families in Spartanburg. So that being said, we're going to relinquish the mic back to our co-host, Sheikh Imam Akbar or
Yes,
John.
ma'am. We're right here with you. And Chuck Wright has mastered the art of deception and brung tyranny to the city of Spartanburg County, and this is again where they make the BMW car, and it gives him a sense of empowerment that he is the lord of the state of South Carolina because he commands probably more money. They have told me that he has more money under his control, more raw power, in that just the taking of lives of black men back to back to black to black, and tell you that it's under investigation by the SBI, South SCBI, South Carolina Bureau of Investigation. The Minister of Justice and I went back and forth and to and fro. Please cut it.
My
Went back,
bad.
back and forth and to and fro and back and forth with that SBIB and SCIB, South Carolina, BI, right? SCBI, South Carolina Bureau of Investigation, played tricks. The state government, the state investigators, the state's attorney, and then all the way black or back to the local DA, and couldn't find any probable cause why there shouldn't be a major investigation on him covering up the deaths, multiple deaths at the detention center, deputies being accused of abuse, verbal and physical, emotional abuse on the inmates. It went ignored for years. And now it's come to an head. Right? Even while he was under all this pressure, he illegally hired his son, continued
Yep.
to basically launder some money and take that money for his personal use. And from what they're telling me, indicating that he was using drugs and sexing everything that was moving, boys, girls, and the gators. So we have
Mm-hmm.
to really pay attention to how we must interact today for the Panther to go back in now and say we want to demand our face of leadership in Spartanburg and Spartanburg County because we have a state chairman is just either too uh, distracted by the fulfillment decoys or too lackadaisical, too weak, or scared of this goddamn cracker. It's something that's going on with him that's inordinate about this whole equation. Because I think if I had anybody normal in the state of South Carolina, this thing would have been off the charts. Even Queen Beverly got the mother of Lavelle Lane got involved, and so much so that she has become the spiritual advisor for all the Panther movements because of the
That's
fact
right.
not
That's
just that
right.
her son is getting, but she had a dedication and commitment and always was responsive and always willing to go to the front line on the scene. You're not worth a quarter to the movement if you can't get live on the scene. Not going to run the revolution from your porch. Send that word out to them guys sitting on the porch. Get them off the porch, Omar Wally. Get the Daryl and them off the porch. Get your line and them off the porch so they can get out on the front line and put some wreck in. Cause that's just you just bullshitting me when you tell me, oh well, I had my cat died this week. I lost my homework, and I forgot to tell you the truth. I ate my homework. I never made an excuse in this work. You should never make an excuse. Why? Because I make no excuse and I don't accept no goddamn excuses. While these Negroes are running around here, they might as well be saying, God bless America. But I'm telling you right now, the Almighty God of all the worlds and all understanding and surpasses all comprehension, the Lord of all the worlds, the Almighty Jehovah, the Almighty Yahweh Elohim, the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the Most High God, may be very well, rehearsing for a time. And we say, God damn America at this hour. Oh, you got to wake it up.
Yeah,
360.
so we actually
Hmm?
have a footage of
Ashe,
Lavelle
I say
family.
Black Power and Black Power
Black Power.
and Black
Black
Yes,
Power.
so
Power,
let's
yeah,
share
it
the
is.
Well,
screen.
somebody should say black. Everybody's scared to say black power. You said to
All
say
right,
"God
power to
damn
the people.
America" when you see the curse from the heinous hate crime they did to Lavelle Lane alone. You should say "God damn America." If America lets him off the hook, then "God damn America." If we shot down Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden, and Muammar Gaddafi, we're doing goodwill toward America and going after an international figurehead or a president and after their families, then God may be very well damning America at this hour. So don't
All right,
cover
let's
it
share
up.
the
They
screen.
already
Let's
damn.
bring it on to
They just
360
scared to
tonight.
say it.
Because it's not gonna get you out. Trying to appease the opposition, bowing down, being politically correct will not get us out of this. We the people have to rise up and take justice and manage it with our hands. Take freedom and manage it with our authority, under our authority. If the orange toupee guy, if we built this, then now we got the skill to manage it, and we got the skill to run it. Don't let anyone intimidate you out of your righteousness, and don't let them intimidate you out of your black revolution. I'll land my plane on that, but I got so much smoke in here, I could blow the doors off it and say,
Share
my,
the
my, my.
screen.
Oh, my, my, my.
I agree with you, Akbar. A butt kissing revolutionary does not look good on your resume.
All right, so
Just as
thank you
sure
for
as
joining
Skip
us.
is still on the peanut butter jar, or what? This is live. This is not Memorex tonight. Black Power.
Right on, right on. So this is the link of Lavelle Lane's family, Beverly Reese and Mr. Reese at a press conference. This was a couple of weeks after Lavelle's demise.
Well, the coroner knocked on my door that morning, and he told me the coroner. So I'm saying, what happened? He said your son is at the detention center here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. I said, is he all right? He says, no, sir. I'm sorry to bring you the bad news. Your son has died. I said, what happened? I said, was he tased? He tells me, yes. He was in Brooklyn, New York. We moved from Brooklyn, New York 12 years ago. He asked to come down here because Brooklyn, New York is kind of it's different from South Carolina. And we sent for him 2 weeks ago. He's in the funeral home now. And I just want to know why. These people inside of this jailhouse right here wouldn't give us no information. We went to captains. Everybody told us they didn't know. And I would like to know why my son just arrived in South Carolina 15 days ago, and he's now in the funeral home.
All right, share this instead. Okay, and this is the full story from Undisputable with Rashad Ritchie.
Naked. The family wants answers. Let's put up the picture full mass here. This was in Spartanburg, South Carolina. The family of a man who died in police custody earlier this month. They are now demanding answers. Lavelle Lane, 29 years of age, was arrested the evening of October 2nd on a charge of walking in the roadway and was taken into custody by the Spartanburg County Police, family members said. The family said also that Lane suffered from a mental illness, specifically schizophrenia. He died at the same facility the next day. Lane's father, Andy Reese, gave some more background. Here's the quote. He died, and at 5 o'clock in the morning, and they, talking about the jail officers, made rounds around 3:45, and they give food out in trays. The officer noticed that he, being Lane, was on his knees. They say they called his name and they rushed the door open and they called the nurse, but they got no response. And the nurse called EMS and EMS came and then he was dead. The family is now trying to find out exactly what happened while he was in custody. Reese says a representative from the Spartanburg County Coroner's Office told the family Lane had died and that he was also tased by deputies. They tased him and he was butt naked. Reese said of what happened to his son while in deputies' custody. While body cam video and security footage exist, so far, the sheriff's office, they have decided not to release any of it to the public. The sheriff's office denies the situation. Atlanta Black Star requested more information regarding Lane's son's death. And the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office denied their request, claiming since our office, the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, and the coroner's office still have active investigations. So they're hiding behind the investigative protocol. However, this department, this agency has released video before with an investigation not being concluded. Let's put up the pictures of those in charge. We have the sheriff. His name is Chuck Wright, and the Detention Service Division Commander. This is Major Chris Laso. They are in charge. Buck stops with them. Once again, an individual who goes to jail when they should have gone to a hospital. So one, you have a microcosm, which is the actual incident, and it speaks to the biases inside of that department. And then you have the macrocosm, the general approach as it relates to healthcare, mental health in the United States of America. No way this man should have gone to a jail at all. Never should have had that trip happen in the first place. There's a
All right, so that is one of the many coverages of, again, the tragic death of Lavelle Lane. And still to this day, many families are mourning at least what, 30 deaths the last couple of years under his watch. Enough is enough already. So we again welcome you to Black Power Radio. We got a couple of guests that we're going to head off with. First, we're going to head in the hour with Queen Mother Valerie Dixon, the author of Too Black to Succeed. She has a speaking engagement with some of the youths tomorrow on the issues of being Black and a business owner down there. So we're going to play one of our musical breaks, No Justice, No Peace, and we'll be right back on Black Power Radio.
No peace! No racist! Police! No justice! No peace! No racist! Police!
They say we all equal, but the cops killing my people. No justice, no peace, no. Saw my brother, now he gone. No racist police, no. That's just something we gotta speak on. No justice, no peace, no. No justice, no peace, no. Look, you can't walk outside the house with a snapback. Police would think you thugs react, then they clap back. Look, Black Lives Matter, that's the hashtag. But this is real life, way more than a hashtag. R.I.P. Breonna Taylor, R.I.P. George Floyd. Kill him cause the color of his skin, why you do it to him? Completely unarmed, just racially profiled. Now there's a mother out here trying to fight life with no child. Let's fight for the justice, protest just don't slow down. I can't breathe. Screaming loud with the whole crowd. When they take off that mask, they gon' put on a badge now. Out here to kill us, stand up, never they say we down. All equal, but the cops killing my people. Ay. No justice, no peace, no. Ay. Saw my brother, now he gone. No racist police, no. That's just something we gotta speak on. No justice, no peace, no. No justice, no peace, no.
All right, no justice, no peace. That is our song of the hour. And we're actually honoring Black Poetry month of April. So if you have a piece of freedom, of consciousness, of liberation, we would like to hear from you. So without further ado, we want to bring our first guest tonight, Queen Mother Valerie C. Dixon, who is the author of Too Black to Succeed, the FinSac Experience. Now, last night we had Sister Yola Baker, and we're trying to get Mr. Mishak Willis, who are two of the three victims of the FinSac Experience. And as we mentioned before, the FinSac was an agency that took over, supposed to help the banks in Jamaica with small business loans as well as mortgages, and they ended up taking some of the profits for their own, leaving 44,000 hardworking Jamaican families out of a business and out of their home in something called usury. So, for example, if they took out a $10,000 loan or even signed off just to borrow a few $100,000 for their business or small home, they ended up paying in a tune of millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. So without further ado, and also we got Chairman Paul Ross Polos here as well to something. So, Miss Valerie Dixon, greetings and
Good
welcome.
evening. Good evening, everyone on the platform.
Good
So
evening.
nice to be with you this evening once more.
Yes, yes, thank you. And we are going to queue up, just for those who may not know about FinSac, queue up the FinSac Commission, in which, again, this was one of the main agencies that was here to help these families. So, Ms. Valerie Dixon, can you tell us a little bit about what was FinSac and what eventually ended up doing to these families, including yourself?
Oh, yes. I'm going to make it very, very simple by saying that what happened to us in Jamaica is not unusual. We, anywhere on the planet that had a colonial experience, white colonial, whether it was British experience or European, the French, the Spanish, the Portuguese, the British, wherever there was colonialism and imperialism, the Black peoples under their watch as slaves suffered the same injustices. It didn't matter whether you were in Jamaica or whether you were in the South laboring in the cotton fields of America or in the sugarcane fields in Cuba, Brazil, wherever, the experience was the same. And for the FinSac experience, what it meant is it is an acronym, FinSac, which means Financial Sector Adjustment Company. What the government said they tried to do was to make the banks that had a bank run on them. I don't know if you know that when times get hard and the government tries to do certain things, it triggers lack of confidence in the financial sector. And when people see that banks, for very simple reasons or sometimes not so simple reasons, are deliberately drained of cash, as in the case of what happened in Jamaica, it's almost hilarious, very funny what happened when the dishonest banking system that we have did something that triggered what we call a bank run on all our local indigenous banks, merchant banks, and all insurance companies. People just rushed to take out their monies and cash their policies, insurance policies, and they would literally put the money under their mattresses or bury it, and the economy went into a tailspin. There is no economy that can operate without cash. So it means that these 44,000 businesses and our family business was included. So this is why I know from firsthand experience that when I talk from a position of knowing. So with the banks strapped for cash, they were a word we use as insolvent, meaning that they didn't have enough cash after the bank run to lend small, medium, and micro businesses monies to keep up with technology, to buy state of the art equipment, to increase their competitiveness with overseas companies. All of that they were not able to do. And without cash flows, these 44,000 businesses had no choice but to declare bankruptcy. And in declaring bankruptcy, many had to close their doors. We lost our company due to all of that because, as I said, we had borrowed, and because of the financial downturn, due to lack of foreign exchange to buy goods, because we stopped producing locally, so everything now had to be imported, and foreign exchange became very scarce, and persons just were not able to service their loans because of all these obstacles that were placed in our way. And so, incidentally, it's interesting to note that what one bank had done that had triggered the bank run, Central National Bank, his sin was not any larger or greater than all the other white and brown regular importers of food, clothing, and shelter into Jamaica. They were all doing the same thing. But the moment that this black man who owned a bank and a group of companies went and outbid them for the sale of the American dollars, it caused a problem. How could he, a black man, outbid us? And we are regular importers and merchants, and we are the ones at the top of the economy. So who is he that he should be able to do this? So it caused an embarrassment to the government. And in the embarrassment, they tried to see if they could pump life into some of these major companies owned by the white and brown class. And that company that they established with the mandate to put these large conglomerates back in business, back in viability, back with cash, etc., they formed this company that we call FinSac. Unfortunately, FinSac did not carry out its mandate, meaning that it did not help the troubled banks and the troubled insurance companies to get back on their feet. And if banks have no customers, that is the ordinary man in the street, you and me, if we don't go to the bank and borrow money, then the bank cannot make profit, which we call interest. So it was a vicious circle. We couldn't get access to foreign exchange. Something bad happened to the street agents put out by the central bank. One of them was actually robbed of millions of Jamaican dollars that were used. I don't want to give away the book because I want everyone to read it for themselves. But that incident was what triggered the bank run, because the government, seeing the embarrassment that they were faced with, went after this particular black bank owner, not just manager. Now he owned the bank and a group of merchant banks and other companies as well, and they set about to destroy him, and they actually did. But in the process of destroying one man, it had a domino effect, because the rest of us had the bank run on all the local banks, not the foreign banks now, on the local banks, and they were destroyed. So the
Mhm.
people who would go to the bank and borrow money could not borrow any money. And the monies that they did borrow, the government did a, I don't know what to say, if it was a wise thing, but if you're a government and your economy is low on cash, then you're going to try to do everything possible to entice people to bring money and lend to the government. And this was exactly what they did. All the
Wow.
cash rich companies and from this ruling class, many of them who had received reparations or compensation, their generation, their ancestors, sorry, had received compensation, which we call reparation, but I hear we're not to use that word anymore. But for the sake of clarity, let me say reparations. About
Okay.
5,000 families, planter class families in the West Indies, in the Caribbean, received compensation from the then British government for the loss of their slaves. Now
Mhm.
imagine, it's the slaves who did all the work, and yet it's the planters who did nothing who received
Mhm.
compensation or reparations. So
That's
these
right.
people are cash rich with this old money. So what they did with their surplus cash was to lend it to the government, because remember now all the cash has been taken out of the local banks, local indigenous banks, to lend it to the government. And the enticement was exorbitantly high interest rates to encourage these people who have surplus cash to come and buy papers known as IOU or government papers. That's what we call investing in paper. So they would buy stocks and shares and bonds and treasury bills, which in effect, in simplicity, are just pieces of paper, like you would write the letters I.O.U, and they would have these papers at these guaranteed high interest rates, so that when they're ready to cash it in, they would make much, 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 much more interest than normal. Unfortunately, if you want to borrow money from the bank, then you would be slapped with these high interest rates. See what
Right,
happened?
right. And then because of that, they had created a commission because of this type of usury, which is up to probably 120% that they
That's
were
right.
charging to these families who were just probably borrowing a couple of 100,000 at maximum, ended up paying millions and millions of dollars. Now, if we could share the screen, excuse me, the
No,
FinSAC
I just
Commission, the FinSAC
to,
Commission that was created in 2009. Yes.
I'm not hearing so well. It's gone low. But to make matters worse, what they did was to take the collateral from these borrowers, the 44,000 people, and they actually sold 24,000 of them to a Texas collection agency. And that Texas collection agency was actually where the Jamaica Redevelopment Foundation, maybe Yola touched on all of this yesterday, so I would be
Yes.
repeating it here. And so this company is registered in foreign Texas and as well as Jamaica. And the company with the name Jamaica is owned by a Texan by the name of Jason Rudd. And Jason comes to Jamaica on a regular basis to collect the proceeds of the properties, homes, cars, artwork, and other assets used as collateral. And he repatriates it back to the United States of America. So we are left with double whammy, double jeopardy in that we are charged interest on principal, we're charged interest on interest, usury, which is illegal in the state of Texas. This is the sort of thing that our own government did to us, the 44,000 of us who were the backbone of the economy. We were the employers. And by that I mean, we're not talking huge conglomerates now because people who have money do not build factories or they do not have much employment. They are investors. They let their money work for them at profits much higher than what you would get if you were to build a factory, employ workers. Your return sometimes cannot be as high as those who let their monies work for them with the high interest rates. So we were paying back interest rates that quadrupled, as Eula explained only yesterday. There is no way. And then to make matters worse, they brought in the Ponzi schemes, the pyramid schemes, and flooded the economy with fake money that was not anchored to anything solid like manufacturing or the production of goods and services. It was just money pumped into the economy. And that caused a rush on consumer items, items that were just luxury items, if not real, but it gave a false sense of prosperity. And when the pyramid schemes bombed, as they are sure to do, some of you may remember what happened in the case of Enron in the United States and with Bernie Madoff, you may understand what I'm talking about when I mention the pyramid schemes. So the whole economy is now turned upside down because real production and real manufacturing that are your cornerstones on which to export goods like bauxite, sugar, coffee, other minerals, etc., you don't have that production going on. So you're not earning any foreign exchange. And you cannot go in America and buy their clothes or their shoes or their whatever and pay them in Jamaican dollars. You must secure foreign exchange in which to carry on international trade. So the problem was it was just mushrooming. Day
Yeah,
by
it
day, it was
compounded.
getting worse.
Right. Yes, it compounded. And this is why the commission, which was created in 2009, was supposed to look into this inquiry as well. So this is a recent update of the FinSAC Commission, which to this day have not brought closure to the families who are affected. So let's take a look at the recent updates of the so-called advisors to oversee, sort of like investigators, to see the issues that the FinSAC usury claims have done to the families.
Long-awaited documents from one of Jamaica's most turbulent economic periods are now available to the public. The release of the FinSAC Commission archives marks a major step in understanding the financial crisis of the 1990s, with a key figure still defending the Commission's work. Ramon Gordon has the details.
The public now has full access to the long-awaited FinSAC Commission archives, unlocking the evidence and submissions behind the near collapse of Jamaica's financial system in the 1990s. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark at today's launch hailed the redacted archives as a window into one of Jamaica's darkest economic chapters, offering a rare, in-depth look at the crisis that reshaped the nation's financial landscape.
The collapse of the financial sector in the 1990s was arguably the most monumental domestic economic event in Jamaica's independent history. To an accumulation of debt that represented 40% of GDP. And it has taken 30 years approximately for that debt to be wound down.
The collapse of Jamaica's financial sector in the 1990s was driven by skyrocketing interest rates, with some borrowers facing rates as high as 120%. In 1997, FinSAC was set up to stabilize the financial sector, but instead oversaw the sale of many local businesses to foreign investors, which cost the country an estimated 44% of its GDP.
The accumulation of that debt led to a situation by 2002, 2003, where interest and wages alone exceeded tax revenues. Interest and wages alone exceeded tax revenue.
Former Finance Minister Dr. Omar Davies had previously criticized the government's failure to release the FinSAC Commission report. He served as minister during the crisis and defended FinSAC against critics.
The high interest rate policy of Omar and the PNP has been one of the most destructive forces in the history of Jamaica's economy. Many entrepreneurs lost their businesses. Many companies that were over 100 years old in Jamaica were destroyed and sold to foreigners. And even one of his colleagues who sits in this room today described it as the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich since the abolition of slavery.
Speaking with CVM News on Thursday, Dr. Davies maintained his support of the commission, albeit with a caveat.
FinSAC was established in order to address problems, but somehow the story has been twisted that FinSAC is blamed as the cause of the problem. The real issue was the extent to which persons who had accounts, the government took on the responsibility for reimbursing the savings. That perhaps was an error.
Over $160 million was spent to produce the report, and it took over a decade to gather all the relevant information. It was handed over to the Finance Ministry in 2019. To access the archives, visit www.mof.gov.jm/FinSAC Commission Archives.
Well, I tell you, family, $160 million, they said, was spent to oversee the accountability of this corrupted body. But actually, it's over 300 million from what we just heard from Ms. Yola Baker as of yesterday. Now, this is one of the stories that, even though it happened in Jamaica, we are still going to cover it, family, because we have none other than Brother Shakur with the eye of the Panther newspaper that's going to cover this in full in the next circulation. So, Brother Shakur, hearing this story of FinSAC and this corruption, how do you feel that this story with the eye of the Panther will help open up the doors for those who may not know about this tragic event?
Black Power, yes, ma'am. Appreciate having me on and being able to speak.
Black Power, Shakur. Black Power.
One thing, it comes down to the proper teachings. You know, our people are taking advantage of anywhere on this planet that we may stand. So we have to make sure that we empower our people, so that way we can know how to deal with things like this when they come around. It's sad that it was other black people that were involved with doing it, other Jamaicans that were involved with doing it, but that's what you get, and that's what comes along with a lot of situations that we deal with. But as far as for the paper, yes, that is what the platform and that is what the paper is for. for us to be able to get these type of things out, so that way we can get support to our people, no matter where they may be, whether in the United States, in the Caribbean, in other continents, or wherever the case they may be. That's what this paper is for. So, yes, please, like I spoke on yesterday, email it to me. Give me the details. I'm learning more of it as I listen to you guys, and I will do more research on it. And yes, we will be covering it in the next issue.
Right on. So if anybody wants to send an editorial or a story for you to cover, it's our black media that's going to cover it, which is why the Eye of the Panther is such an important piece of media, because journalism really breaks barriers when the mainstream media does not and will not cover our issues. So can you tell the listening audience where they can find you to send their stories?
Yes, ma'am. The Liberation Paper, 2024 at gmail.com. I see someone put it up. They didn't have it. Should be the Liberation, TheLiberation, paper, PAPER, 2024 at gmail.com. That's all one word.
All right. The Liberation Paper 2024 at gmail.com. And can you tell us a little bit about what motivated you to start the Eye of the Panther?
Really was to carry on the legacy of the Panther Papers that came previously before it. There really wasn't a real strong Panther paper that was out, that was widespread and based in a lot of different locations. Plus, not only that, our people needed another voice. We can't pass up any voice that can help us to get anything out. So anything that help to bring things to the table and bring light and share information, everyone should be trying to do that anytime that they can. And this is my contribution to not only our people, to the movement, and not just here but worldwide, to try to be able to do my part to help that.
Right on, right on. We are so grateful for you, brother. And we definitely got a lot of stories that we need covered. So, Queen Mother Valerie Dixon, do you hear that? We
I
have the
heard, and there is one little thing I'd like to just pin onto what I've said to show you just how propaganda can work on our people. You have heard it said that the FinSAC archives that they have been released. Now, an archive is totally different from a report. All the archive did was to tell you what went on in the commission itself. It is not a report. But when people hear the word, oh, we have released the FinSAC archives, everybody relaxes and say, oh, I must read it because that's the report. The report still has not been revealed after 25 years. And the reason is simple: both sides benefited, and it's going to cause embarrassment. But what has to be done is to be done. I am just finding out that two of my family's businesses, collateral, have been sold without our knowledge.
And
How
so
do you
that's
recover from that? And
yes.
this is what has happened to the 44,000 of us, with 24,000 collateral being sold by the Texan Jason Rudd through the Jamaica Redevelopment Foundation, which is registered in Texas. And usury is applied, which is illegal in Texas. So why is it legal in Jamaica? These are the
Actually, it's
things.
not. It's not legal. Again, this is brother Jay Muller just mentioned it in the comment. We as a people got to look into the current constitutional laws, as counterfeit as they may be, but we have to be inclined and we have to be knowledgeable in legislation, which is why they're going to continue to pull the wool over our eyes, the majority of our people that are not in these political spaces. So that's why we want to empower our youth. And that's where we're going to go actually to our next guest after this break, to Brother Hanif, and creating their own political system. And Miss Valerie C. Dixon, what is it that you'd like to see ultimately with vindication? And can you tell us a little
I
bit
would like to see compensation being paid to all of us who suffered at the hands of our own government in relation to what they have done to us and to how they have confiscated our hard earned assets that we use to secure loans to improve our businesses and in the end to employ even more Black people in Jamaica, to create employment for our people. And that's how they destroyed us. And then bringing foreigners now through a thing called liberalization. But because our people don't know, and this is where this platform, I find it so helpful because it is informing, especially the generations behind who we have to pass the baton on to. So I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to say these few words. And I do hope I was clear enough to make persons understand that the same thing that happened everywhere there's colonialism and imperialism is no different from what took place in Jamaica. Thank you all very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Miss Valerie Dixon.
And,
And
and
we
thank you so
had
much
you
for making that contribution here at Black Power
live.
Radio.
Yes, yes. We heard you loud and clear. And again, we are covering the FinSAC experience so that way others can know that it's not just the U.S. that try to get over us as chattel slave, but everywhere. These colonizers try to rob, steal,
Please
destroy.
mute up, y'all. One mic on the moderators and the host, and please mute up when you're not speaking.
Right on. Thank you. So we have just a few seconds of commentary from Chairman Ross Polos from the 6th region. Try to chime in while we go into our musical break. And then we're going to speak to our brother, a young executive out there creating his own political party, Brother Hanif from DC. And it's so exciting. We're listening to Black Power Radio. And if you want to help support this broadcast, you're going to donate to $77 Bakers. That's $77 Bakers. So we can continue to bring you informative news every week that's affecting the Black man, woman, and child. Los Palos?
Question. Who really cares? Save the world. Live
First
life
of all, I'd like
for
to
the
sing the
children.
presence of the Most High.
Like, bro, I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Unmute your mic.
When the world won't be singing, flowers won't grow, no bells won't be ringing. Who really cares? Who is willing to try to save a world that is destined to die? When I look at the world, it fills me with sorrow. Children today really suffer tomorrow. Oh, what a shame. Such a bad way to live. Who is to blame when we can't stop living? Oh, live one life, but to live everybody. Live life on the children.
right. Save the Children. And that is a remix from Remy Salami, one of our favorites from Marvin Gaye. We actually do own the rights with Dr. Cecil Jenkins for Take Back Our Children is the theme of the protege of Marvin Gaye. And in August 6th to the 9th, we are going to have a gala in Virginia, Take Back Our Children Gala, which is the first initiative of highlighting the needs for our children. And then we're going to go right into the Million Youth Rally, September 5th and 6th in DC. So we are so excited for these events that are coming up to really highlight our Black youth. So right before we go into our next guest, we have Chairman Ross Polos wanted to chime in for a second to give his few cents on the FinSAC experience in the 6th region.
First of all, I like to say, family, in the presence of the Most High, the great heart of divinity, we bring you peace and goodwill. And as what Sister Valerie explained, the FinSAC archive is not the inquiry report. And it is not a coincidence that in the present sitting of Parliament, the present Prime Minister, Mr. Andrew Holness, has now brought it back into Parliament by using it against Mr. Mark Golding and Mr. Peter Bunting, who were beneficiaries of the FinSAC. But Mr. Holness does not tell the whole story, because the greatest beneficiary of FinSAC was actually Mr. Edward Siaga, the JLP party, the whole instigation of it through the American buying up all our debts, 44,000 as you heard, that has continued the crippling our economy. We became the biggest consumers when we were the biggest producers in the Caribbean, maintaining our self-integrity, making things, creating employment for Black people that was relevant within the region. So when we speak of FinSAC, you're talking about the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor Black man to the rich plantocracy class of the Caribbean. And that is what you have. So I'm glad that sister was able to explain that this archive is just telling the stories like once upon a time. It does not tell the beneficiaries. And that is why we cannot have the real report, because it will show immediately all the companies that was set up after the 44,000 and the banks and our insurance company that was FinSAC. It shows immediately the new stock market that was set up by the beneficiaries of the 44,000 Black businesses. So that is very important.
So this is absolutely. And again, we are grateful to share that on Black Power Radio, because these are issues that we need the community as the diaspora to help follow suit with. So thank you again, Queen Mother Dixon and Ross Paulos, to share the FinSAC experience. So, Brother Shakur, we're going to look at the Eye of the Panther to cover this story at length. And if you're tuning into Black Power Radio, we want to say thank you for supporting one of the most informative Black medias from around the globe. So we're here every Sunday and Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and 7 p.m. Central. And so now we're going to go right into our next guest. Is a powerful, powerful youth, one that is going to be a significant change in the Million Youth Rally happening in DC. So right before we get, let me remove this from the studio. Okay, right before we get into who this fabulous soul is, this strong brother is, we're going to give a little highlight of the Million Youth Rally that we are holding. It's a 26-year anniversary, highlighting what Dr. Khalid Muhammad started in 1998, the only activist in the world to really focus on our babies. And so the Million Youth March legacy will take place exactly to the day, September 5th to 2025. And we're looking for a few good men, women, organizations to help be part of this historical remembrance for our youth.
Young brother and sister, be a doctor if you want to be a doctor. Be a lawyer if you want to be a lawyer. Be a scientist, be an engineer if you want to be an engineer. Just use your talent and your knowledge for the benefit of your people.
The message is so important that it needs, if they can't go to the message, then the message needs to be conveyed to them.
And you're the messenger.
In a way, I'm one of the many messengers.
And he's a natural at it.
Every now and then.
At age 4, Allende became a public speaker, reciting the words of great orators like Martin Luther King Jr.
That in spite of the difficulties and frustrations of the moment, I still have a dream.
Fulfill their responsibilities.
When you stop making excuses, when you start standing with our mothers, when you start teaching us to be humane, then we can build a new nation of strong people.
Yes, that you guide us and protect us from this day forth and into the new millennium. We facilitate this process by reciting the ancient sacred words.
We hope that the young people here in this city will pursue education to its highest degree and put God first in everything that they do and begin to develop themselves.
And give special thanks to the world's leader in rap music, No Limit Records, and Brother Master P. Holla if you hear me. Holla if you hear me. Go buy every record of Master P you can find. Go get everything of No Limit Records you can find. We'll work on all of our rappers in the future to work toward liberation lyrics and revolutionary rap. But let's give Brother Master P and No Limit Records a strong hand for financing this event here today.
Right on, right on. So a lot of people didn't know that, yes, it's Master P that is one of the major financiers of the original Million Youth March. And ever since the time of No Limit Records, him and his son Romeo has always been prolific in creating young Black entrepreneurship, even to this day. So we want to give a special shout out to Master P for the work that he is continuing to do in empowering our youth. So we hopefully will see what we'll bring this year in the commemoration of the Million Youth March. So speaking of DC, yes, we have one of our strong brothers here who's been with us a couple of weeks on the show. And Sister Janae can go a little bit more on the details of who he is. But since he stepped onto the stage, I tell you, he shook the atmosphere with his Black Wall Street plan. But more importantly, he has a political party alternative for our Black youth. And that is what we need when we talk about self-determination. So without further ado, where is our brother Hanif? Welcome to Black Power Radio, my dear. How you doing?
Black and strong. Thanks for having me.
Right on, right on.
Right. So
yes.
I would like to say Black Power.
Black Power.
I would like to say Hotep. I would like to say Hotep.
Hotep.
I would like to salute and say Ashe to all my elders. And last but not least,
Ashe, Black Power. Love you, little brother.
And last and not least, I would like to say assalamu alaikum to my brothers.
All right.
And with that, I'd like to continue forward with regards to answering any questions that you have for me, Truth Bay.
Yes, well, our listening audience is with bated breath. What got you started in this activism? Tell us a little bit about the party, the African Independence Party, if I'm correct.
Okay, so if they must know, I'm currently a member of a party which is non-Democrat or non-Republican, and most of the elders are fully aware of what the issue with that is. One is the fox, and one is the wolf. So I'm associated with a political party that's funded by all Black people, and we're trying to we're trying to solidify a black colony by putting the power of votership into our own people's hands. Just like the original Black Panther Party, when Huey P. Newton and a lot of his comrades have ran for mayor's office in positions of government, which is completely hidden out of our own history here while being in this United States of America. With that being said, the party represents us as a people as a whole, and we're trying to center ourselves around and tackling the needs of the issues with regards to our communities.
That's right. That's right. And that's part of our 10-point platform as well, to create a justice system, a jury and peers of our own, to police ourselves, to really create our own party. And the Black Panther Party in 1966 did just that. And so we want to honor our ancestors and bringing this new movement, in which we're going to tell you a little bit about, as our national chairman has mentioned earlier, that this is a refined new movement. We're not new to this. We are true to this. And so it has to be defined for the sake of our cubs. And this is why this year we're looking for a few good men, women, and youth to take forth in that fame. And Brother Hanif has been doing that for quite some time now. So tell how people can join, and what was the method behind getting involved in the importance of having our own political party.
Okay, so the name of the political party is named or entitled New African Independence Party. And what we understand is a basic principle is that you cannot have no control. Well, anything that you do not have control over can be used as a tool against you. Do we all agree?
Absolutely.
Okay, so with that being said, is that when we look to the left or look to the right at the Democrats and the Republicans, right? And the only thing that we see in the power structure are people that are pledge allegiance to the racist forefathers' philosophy with regards that was built off of slavery. Then the only result that those two ideologies can only produce is a regeneration of those core principles itself, right?
Right. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Right. So that is one of the problems that the party seeks to solve, with regards to alleviate Democrats and Republicans, and especially those that are whitewashed, the people that look like us.
That's right. As they say, black faces in high places. That has been our demise since the days of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And so we don't want to live in the past and recreate those mistakes. So we also really got to focus on empowering the youth with a new mindset just for that. So what advice do you give a young brother or sister who wants to be part of this party, or if they want to start one of their own? How can they join, and what's the motivation, and how they can complete one?
Okay, so the information is clearly on the website, and I posted it in the chat box. I don't know if it's able to be seen by everybody, but just to reiterate, the name of the party is New African, and that's with a K, Independence Party.org. Also, I'm currently working on establishing my own chapter in Baltimore, Maryland, and I need people in order to do that. So if there are listeners here that are interested in supporting me, which is going to support us, please feel free to reach out to me personally by contact my number, to as though we can sit down, we can educate ourselves, and we can work on establishing a chapter here. Also, moving forward, the motivations for that is that, think about this. If you had a chance to change the future and the outcome of every melanated person in this country itself, would you not want to play a role in doing so? Or
share the screen. Go ahead, brother. We're pulling up the
this is the question that I'm posing to the youth. If you today could make a decision, if the power was in your hands to make a decision, I'm going to participate and put myself in a position to where as though I can write the laws that benefits my people. Or would you sit back and allow other people who don't look like you, and for those who do look like you, who pose more of a harm or danger because they've been infected and poisoned with other ideologies that's only designed to kill us off? What would you
That's
choose?
right.
What would you choose? Would you choose to stand and fight for us, where though you would have the power to run and control this country, or would you sit back and sit down and not speak up and allow other people to control you and control us?
Well, we certainly don't want that. And here we are, family. If you're looking at the screen, New African with a K.org, and it beautifully displays the 10 points right here and some more as far as what our purpose is, as far as reparations or restitutions for slavery, freedom, power to determine our own destiny. We want proportional political and judicial representation. We definitely don't want to die by the hands of the police, which is happening way too often. So just a few of the reasons why you need to be a new African. So for those who want to join, Brother Hanif, can you give us a contact number for them?
All right. So my contact number is 571. Would it be seen in the box?
Absolutely. Please jot it in.
All right. So I'm going to put my contact number in the box. So anybody that's interested in finding out more or be interested in supporting me and establishing the chapter here, please reach out and feel free to contact me any hours of the night. Also, if you're finished with this or discussion this, I would like to move forward with regards to speaking on the new Black African Wall Street, which is going to be in cahoots with this organization, just as well as every other Black organization. So may I continue forward?
Yes, we got 2 minutes in this segment, so please.
All right. All right. So with the new Black African Wall Street, it's supposed to consist of 1 million melanated people contributing $1,000 apiece, which would give us a combined total of $1 billion. This $1 billion would fund our own economy, along with provide taxation to establish a military, a paramilitary, and a security bases to protect our political prison, to protect our political party, just as well as protect our citizens. Because y'all can look around, the police is not trying to protect y'all. That is not their job. So y'all make the decision. But you would want to keep paying taxes and work 7 days a week for a system that is only designed to destroy and kill you? Or would you want to support brothers and sisters like us to build our own businesses and be taxed and form our own military to protect these political parties and protect our companies in these communities? Y'all make the decision.
All right. Well, we're going to make a good decision as you continue to tell us what we need to do.
All right. So the purpose of the new Black African Wall Street is to build our own economy. So what I have said that if we can raise $1 billion, that will put us in a position of buying power to purchase 400 individual companies that is not exceeding over $2 million. Each of these companies can be equally diverse throughout every 54 state, which will equal to around about 5 companies to 8 companies per state. And once we have control over those domains, we will control our own means of production and our own services, to where as though we can benefit and reach out and give back to the community.
That's what it's all about. That's right. That's right.
All right. So the idea of this first phase is to embark upon meeting people who want to support such of an idea, to where as though we can continue to brainstorm and we continue to come together. Just like, for instance, a wise statement was said: "He who travels alone travels the fastest, but he who travels together travels the longest."
Bam! Microphone drop right there. And that's out of the mouths of our babes.
Bravo.
And so if you want to hear more, yes. So inspiring. So if you want to hear more of Brother Hanif and see him in person, he will be one of many of our prolific guests for the Million Youth Rally, with many, many other great guest speakers and organizations giving back to our babies. So we appreciate you so very much, brother. Continue to tell us about and round off for the Black Wall Street and the new African Independence Party. This is not an option. It is mandatory, family. So log on to newafrican.org to get more information on how to join and be inspired to build and join a chapter or create one in your area. We have alternatives now, family. So with that being said, I'm going to relinquish the mic back to our co-host, Queen Janae and Zinga, while we are waiting for our last but final guest of the hour, Queen Mazazi, as we talk about a little bit the update with the history of Haiti.
All right, peace and black power, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed this episode of Black Power Radio. I want to introduce two people right quick, but we got to get Brother Yasuk on the line. Are you there, Brother Yasuk? Black Panther Party. He
Yes,
has
ma'am.
the
Yes, ma'am,
new.
sister. I'm here.
He has the new. Not new, but the Black Panther movement new platform, 5 principles of a Panther, and the 9 local objectives that he wants to express to us, because we are expanding with the Black Panther movement, well, which we said we're going to be releasing the website on April the 12th, and we are recruiting as well. So, Brother Hanif, even though you have your own organization, you are welcome to come join the Black Power movement as well.
Yes, and I have a little joke, and Queen. I'm not trying to embarrass you, but Truth Bay mentioned that she was going to have you add in with regards to speaking about my presence here, though. But it's a little it's a little joke, though, right? As a matter of fact, believe it or not, is that I met the Queen I would say not incidentally, but kind of strategically, to where as though when I approached her, I was actually recruiting her to support me in my organization. And as a matter of fact, it turned around. She ended up recruiting me. However, though, but it speaks to her sincerity and with regards to really want to help our people, because that is one of the first questions I asked her: was would she feel comfortable, or is she interested in supporting Black people and us trying to build an economy? So as our conversation started off that fundamental principle, she introduced me to the people who I'm currently on the show with, that we have a whole platform, and you need to get around the right people, because there are people out here that will support you if your voice can be heard. And next thing you know, that here I am. So I'd like to thank you once again, Queen.
You're welcome, my brother. That's what we do. We nation building here. This is a global platform. It's not just local, it's global. So we're gonna give the floor back to Brother Yasuk with the 5 duties of a Panther and the 9 local objectives. Go
Black
ahead,
Power
brother.
Sister, Black Power Sister, Black Power Kings and Queens that's online. Actually, we're going to step back and take it just a little slower. The new doctrine that we have that we're introducing, these are teachings, and this is a method that will take us into the next 50 years of Pantherism. As far as for the Black Panther movement, it is an umbrella movement that is a collective of organizations. So, brother, yes, you are welcome, as well as other organizations that are welcome. Our main thing is no one coming in causing problems, causing headaches, wanting to figure out how to create solutions to the problems that we're facing. So that's the biggest thing with the movement, making sure that everybody's on the same page and wanting to grow and wanting to push together as one. But what I did want to go over, the new doctrine that we have is the 3 principles of organizing. We have the 3 principles of organizing, and we have a 7-point platform is what we have. And then we also have the updated doctrine for the 5 duties of a Panther, which we're not going to cover out today, but I will do an introduction with the 3 principles of organizing. Number 1, our first principle of organizing is to empower our people. Which is I'm hearing a lot of that here on the show, coming from different work and different things that are being provided on the platform. So that's one thing that we're always big on. The Black Power movement is dedicated to the principle of empowering our youth and our community. We empower ourselves through our services to our people. We believe in feeding the people, clothing the people, and helping Black families who are in need. We empower our people through Black Panther programs. And not for sure what that was. There was a little feedback on that. And way of study groups by learning and spreading the teachings of the Black Panther movement. We believe in constantly engaging, serving, educating, and teaching our people so that we can create new leaders in the community and also within the youth. That is very big, that we make sure that we empower our people the proper way, so that way we do teach the youth how to get on the direct and the right path and not get lost and confused on the different things that they may run into. Number two, our second principle of organizing is to organize our people. The Black Panther movement is zealous about dedicating to the principle of organizing our people for the complete liberation. In the cities where we live in, we are duty bound to be the best organizers that can be found. We organize locally to carry out the goals of our 7 point platform. We are organizing to support Black Power, which includes supporting Black businesses, and we are organizing to push the bloodsuckers out of the Black community, which is the Black nation. We organize our people to build up a strong local Black Power movement all over the nation. Our motto is organize, 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 which is very big because as long as you're organizing, you'll be developing and creating new opportunities, which is big for the movement, for us to be able to make sure that we reteach ones and get them on the right path. The third and the final principle of organizing that we came up with to make sure that it'll push us into the future is defending our people. The Black Panther movement member practices the principles of self-defense to the best of their ability according to the rules and laws of their both legal jurisdiction and the laws of nature and self-preservation. Our Black Panthers' further duty is to organize the Black community for general self-defense. Defending Black people also means defending our people against any attacks from any source. Um, that along those lines, we're also going to be developing the Black Panther Movement Defense Corps. So that will also be a very strategic thing that will be put together in different areas. We've already got some groundbreaking things going on that's been moving in the community for security reasons. I won't speak on it, but we do have men on the ground that are moving. There will be some things that will be released Saturday for our movement launch. That way we can be able to introduce everything to everyone. And basically, we hope and we want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to support and also be involved and come to the table and bring things to the table to be able to help us grow, not just as a movement, but as a nation, as Black people, and to make sure that we get on the path to be able to liberate ourselves, which is the goal of the work that we're trying to do and trying to put in, which is Panther work. So we're not recreating anything. We're not trying to come up with anything that is new. We're just using the wheel to plug in and get the benefits out of it that we need, and to make sure that we can push into the future and stay up with what's moving and how the youth is moving. So that's kind of end of what I wanted to get to everyone. If anyone has anything or any discussion that they want to speak on about the three principles of organizing, we can go through that. And then also, our launch is going to be Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We will go into a lot more depth, and we will go into some of the other new doctrine teachings that we have. But like I said, everybody is welcome, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen out. Black Power.
May I add something?
Black Power. That's good.
Black Power.
Yes. Thank you for that, brother. Yasu. Go ahead, honey. What do you want?
Okay, so brother Yasu, as I explained to the Queen when we first met, this is the purpose of the new Black African Wall Street. It's the purpose to establish an economy so it can fund all your operations. It can fund the political side of the operation, and it also can fund your side of the operation. So when y'all need funds and y'all need money, there's already a pool set to the side from the taxation from the company and from us as band members. So this is why I need people help to support me in building the economy so we can structure it to where as though the tax revenue can be donated to y'all cause so y'all can preserve your purpose in serving and protecting the community and serving and protecting our businesses. But we also need funds to do that. So this is why I'm trying to start the new Black African Wall Street so we can have our own government economy that can fund your operations above ground.
Black
That's
Power.
right. That's right. That was about
Power.
building up
Okay.
Black economics.
Honey,
Thank
Correction,
you so
honey.
much,
Not
brother.
trying, doing.
hold on. One mic, please. Honey, we're going to invite you into the Black Power Panther movement, and we're going to sit down. We have a sit down coming soon. Anyone that's interested in joining the Black Power movement, just contact me, and I'll get you that information. Okay, so we've got time. We don't have a lot of time to go over and over and over things. Brother Ross Paulos, I see you. I have one more guest, Sister Anisha. Are you still here?
Tanisha.
Yeah, she gone now. But we do have a it's a website. I want everybody on this line to look at this website, no matter where you are in the world. It's www.good360.org. If you can look it up, if you have a nonprofit organization or if you have a business that you want to fund, this is a website that Sister Inisha has introduced to me where we can order products all over the country. They have hubs in every city and state, pretty much in the United States, where we can get goods at a discounted price, like a truckload of goods from Burlington, um, home manufacturing places. It's so many different Walmart, different construction places. It's just I can't even think of how many people it is, but she is asking that if we look into this, I'm already a member. If you can get a truckload of this stuff picked up, you're more than welcome to have it and start building a storefront property. You could give it to the community. Any people you know that have construction sites or building houses or even just giving give backs in the community. If you go to Good 360, sign up, become a member of Good 360, and you can get these products at a discounted price. Like she was supposed to do a whole um introduction to it. I guess she just didn't have enough time tonight, but I want everybody to look into it. We're going to be presenting some of these items at the Million Youth Rally to help our young youth entrepreneurs. Say you want to start a storefront, a mom and pop shop. We can get you a truckload of merchandise for practically nothing, just the administration fee. So what they do is they help small businesses as well as nonprofit organizations and individuals that want to get these products and services. So it's no longer gatekeepers. So like, how do they do it? We want to know, how do the Koreans come into this country and they got a whole store full of stuff? Because they talk to each other and they network and they tell each other how to obtain
Exactly.
products and services. So I'm giving you and I'm gifting you with the products. All you have to do is go to the website, sign up with them, and see where's the closest or nearest hub to you. I even have a hub in Spartanburg, South Carolina, with Walmart. If I could just get somebody to pick the daggone truckload of stuff up and ship it to you. You know, we have our own shipping companies as well. We don't have any in Washington D.C. in the immediate DMV area, but we can get it shipped to
Yeah.
us from different areas. So
You can
check the
get them.
website out, please. You know, she was on patiently waiting to do that. And Brother Yasu in Las Vegas, I'm pretty sure we got somewhere on the West Coast that you can pick up items as well as you need it for your chapter. And when you're doing
Right on.
things
Yes,
like
ma'am.
that.
I'd definitely be interested in that
All
information.
right.
All right, so check that out. I think
Thanks.
yes.
Yeah, so we're gonna get to our last guest, Queen Mazazi, after we get Ross Paulos to make a comment. But again, thank you for tuning in Black Power Radio. We have a fun-filled, packed show this evening, and we're so grateful that you are here with us, partaking in the knowledge and information to take back to your peeps and start building. It's not about It's not a spectator sport revolution. It is a proactive one. Ross Palos? Ross Palos? Yes.
Grand Rising family. When I hear all the comments recently, it brought me back to Marcus Garvey. It brought me back to the formation of the UNIA, United Negro Improvement Association, and it also brought me to the African League. Both organizations was formed by Marcus Masai Garvey. I can understand why he formed these organizations, because when we see from Pan Africanism, civil rights, black power. We continue fighting under their rules and regulations. That is why it is taking so long for victory. You see, when His Majesty was coronated, and when He said to the world, as King, I'm King for all Negroes, particularly those in America. Now I can see you have some wonderful organization, well structured, that can be so centralized in the 21st century. But you need to determine what system of authority you are organizing or centralizing. Because if you maintain the same courses that we've seen in our history, you'll keep on playing their games and trying to win with their rules. History have shown us that will not happen. Until the black man, as what Marcus said, look to the east and see the crowning of the black king. Until when Negroes realize their king is the black king of Africa. That is when all the organization, the Black Panther group, can be so effective in the 21st century if you know what is your sovereign authority that you're now gathering our people, especially those in Americans. So family, I commend all the Pan-African groups and all the things you've done. Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad, Nation of Islam, but we're still in the same position. Our black lives in America still doesn't matter. And the Constitution that still holds a Negro 3/5 of a human being has not changed. It's still in your Constitution. So family, I want us to be real. What is your purpose and how do you intend to fulfill it? Because everything that is being said, it was said at the United Nations, the United Gathering, at the Renaissance Gathering of Africans in 1917. Everything has been said. All of the desires to be pursued has been said, has been laid on the table. But up till today, we're still playing it their way and expect to win this game or this war.
That's precisely why we're, thank you so much for that, Ross Paulos. That's precisely why we are focusing on the youth, because prior to that, it has been grown folks that has been running the show and failed miserably because they're about power, greed, position. Our young people are more raw. They are not seeking so much power as much as self-determination. So this time around, when we have people like Brother Hanif and Brother Shakur and New World to help, as well as Ambassador Chairman, to help guide our youth to the promised land, Queen Janae and Zinga, that's giving our young people a hand up to be in the forefront, we're going to see different results. So we appreciate again for reminding us again, the system that is there in place is not for us, which is why they should have created an alternative party instead of killing off our great leaders and have nothing to look at but failed history. So this year in 2025, we are building a global youth council, and we are grateful again to have our next guest. That's part of that change. She is actually the queen, coronated queen of Haiti. Her royal bloodline goes to Dessalines as well. Full screen. And she has a nonprofit called Vision of Love Ministries in Florida. But what's most important is that we're building a global youth council for the sixth region. So for those who may not know what the sixth region is, it is covering the diaspora of us of African descendants that was born outside of the continent of Africa, but with a high concentration of the sub-region number 9, which is the Caribbean nations. This is where we're going to focus on Haiti. And so I, myself, who is the first Haitian Minister of Justice to be elected in this position for the Panther Party. I am eternally grateful to really bring forth policy, legislation, and justice in real time for we the people. For those who may not know, some of the tragedies that's been happening in Haiti, we're just going to play a 1-minute clip and then go into the Valley of Love Ministries that's been holding it down in South Florida, that's really focusing on mobilizing our youth in the Caribbean as well. So let me share the screen right here. And the gunfire and the gangs is a direct result of the lack of engagement with the youth. The youth in Haiti are facing the same things that many of our youth in the Americas are facing. They are not being brought in the forefront, which is why they are casualties of war in juvenile detention centers. They get caught up by law enforcement, as we see with Lavelle Lane, driving while black, walking while black, and then they get assaulted, abused by a system that doesn't care for them. But again, family, we got to push them in these political spaces, be knowledgeable of the enemy, not be involved in it, but be knowledgeable so they can know how to combat. And this is the season that we're in. So again, we're so grateful to have Queen Mother Z. So this is what's happening in Haiti right now in the moment. And he's yelling, we cannot take it anymore. We cannot take it anymore. We come here to give the government of Haiti, which is ran by the U.S., our demands. We demand freedom. We demand security. We want to be able to work, and we want to be able to save our country. And mind you, family, what you're seeing on the screen is some of the Haitian police, but what's there also is the Kenyan militia, again, that was bought and paid for by the United States. So William Ruto, against the will of the Kenyan people, took a $19 million deal to send troops to Haiti. Just black on black crime, I tell you. They said we need to stand a coup. We need to overthrow this corrupt government, and the people, we the people, will stand with you. And this is one of many scenes of burned houses, cars on a daily basis. Even a 2-month-old child was burnt in the fire with all the chaos. Just a lot of death and destruction. So we're going to go to one of the nonprofits that our beloved Queen Mazazi is
people feeding hundreds.
When I saw her, I couldn't stop crying, especially of the little 6-month-old baby.
Marie Jean-Pierre has been the family's only lifeline since they straggled into her agency 3 days ago.
Let me tell you, I call every agency in the book. I have a list of them. I call 211. I call the Lord's Place, Promise Hope. We call different churches. They don't have no money.
News Channel 5's Katie Johnson joins us now with the details.
Kelly, this is the Facebook page for Valley of Love Ministries. It highlights some of the efforts the ministries does for the Riviera Beach community, providing a place to sleep, eat, and find jobs. She's hoping the community will step up and help out. Now, the founder tells me her shelter helps at least 1,200 to 1,500 people each month. And she said the need for that help is greater than ever since she opened Valley of Love. Katie Johnson, WPTV News Channel 5.
Now we're sponsoring Haitian students to build a global youth council for the 6th region. Welcome to Black Power Radio. None other than Queen Mazazi, Marie Antoinette Jean-Pierre Mazazi. Welcome to Black Power Radio, my sis. Peace and Black Power to you. Microphone check. Queen Mazazi, are you in the house? Unmute your mic. All right, we might have some technical difficulties here. Well, nonetheless,
I can't hear you.
Yeah. As we go fetcher. Back to Ambassador for some closing comments.
Yes, we got Sister Initial back. Initial.
Oh, greetings. Greetings.
Hello, my dear.
Greetings. Hi, everybody. How are you doing?
Hi.
Hello.
I told him a little bit about Good 360.
Hello.
If you could just reiterate on that while we're waiting on the Queen.
Okay, well, hi, everybody. So this is basically us looking at the community sort of consumerism and trying to get a hold on how they, purchase products, but at the same time, of course, Queen Janae was telling me she wanted to provide her community with, the same things they would normally go into stores and purchase also, but to give us a little bit more control and with everybody vibing in these aspects of creating those spaces for community, we could initially and effectively, we could start by being the arbitrators of some of that. And what that looks like is us pulling together. I think the gentleman touched on it earlier, looking at how we spend, what we spend, and if we could get a sort of like using the rally, and then I guess when we move into the original, the bigger one in DC, but for this one, we can sort of get an intake of consumer shopping habits. And what we were doing is we were taking on these large loads of clothing and other things. It just ranges to so much. It's just so much things that we normally purchase day to day. I don't know everybody's shopping habits, but we're talking about clothing. We're talking about accessories, hygiene. Normally we provide these things to homeless residents, but at this point, when we look at all the different boycotts people are having, it's interesting. A lot of people will already have stocks in a lot of these things, but for our community, we should look at it as an opportunity to provide them those things in a different, using a different method. And so what that looks like is pretty much us purchasing these items. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically what we're doing is if Janae was requesting, of course, we're a nonprofit, we're here in Maryland, and our nonprofit is called Educational Sustainability Mobilization. So what we do is we sort of mobilize the community and sort of help them learn how to purchase within a cooperative to get them, to sort of get them prepared to not overconsume and learn to, again, consume together so that we can make a better impact on our finances in relation to what we purchase. So what we're asking is, one, normally you need three things. You need a truck driver, or you pay those fees. These are small fees. A truckload of merchandise can range from anywhere between $2,500 to $10,000, right? But it's going to be based on that need in those communities or the things that we're already purchasing. But we could sort of change what that looks like in our direct community. So just to be clear, as a nonprofit, we may pay for these items, right? Basically administration fees, and it can come from anywhere. It's major retailers, right? And so what we're doing is coming together in groups, right? And we're buying in bulk, and we decide what that looks like. So Queen Janae decided for the youth rally, she wanted youth to walk away with some of the things they would have spent maybe hundreds and hundreds of dollars on throughout the summer. We will be providing those items, but there is some small fees. And so we want to try to establish some different individuals or groups or businesses who understand the concept. Again, I was listening to the gentleman earlier. He touched on just about everything. So taking a note out of what he was saying, we could look at it as that we are changing consumer habits as it relates to how they're buying, but we also could utilize it as a chance to give some families things that they need, whether it's furniture, bedding, beds, mattresses, clothing, food, but we're more so looking at the clothing and other things of that nature. And just to get involved in it, I would just like you all to more so let Queen Janae decide how she wants to move forward so that we can help her deliver some of these things that she would like to see happen. So thank you.
Yes, that's what the object is, to whenever we go into someone's community as Panthers, we should never go in empty-handed. Okay? We have to present something to the people, especially if you ask them to give up something. You know, it's a lot of corner stores and liquor stores and things like that that are convenience stores because there's nobody else in the community that has the products that they need. But if we have those things on hand and we're providing those things for the community, then we can help our communities be more self determination, you know. So that's the ultimate goal of a Panther, is to have our own resources, our own products, our own manufacturing companies, and our
Yes.
own small mom and pop stores, and support those in our community. Because when you look around, especially here in Washington, D.C., who's running the stores? It's the Koreans, it's the Mexicans, it's the Ethiopian community, which they are brothers as well. But that money that they're getting is not coming back into our neighborhoods. You know, the black dollar circulate 1 hour, it's over with, you know, and it's going to somebody else's community. But the other communities, they circulate their money how many
They
times?
circulate their money how many times?
You know,
More than
over
we
and
do.
over again,
You know,
more than
over
we
and
do.
over again.
Once we spend it, it's gone. It's outside of our community, and our communities are suffering because of that. So we have the
Yes.
opportunity with Good 360, like she said, furniture. I'm talking about good stuff, brand new stuff. You know, we could open up furniture stores. We could open up dollar stores, things like that. We could get a truckload of stuff from Walmart, you know, Burlington, coats and clothes, everything that's off season. We could get all of those things. And I had no idea that this even existed, but it does. And we want to make sure that we get this information into our communities. Okay? So that's
Yes.
Black
Yes.
Power. Yes, and we ready for the next segment. We did start a little late, so we'll go to 10:30 tonight if that's okay with everybody.
Yes, yes. All right. And thank you so much, Inshallah, for being here and giving us an update. We appreciate the work that you do in the DMV area. All right. Without further ado, we got Queen Marie Antoinette Bazazi back here on Black Power Radio. Welcome, Queen. Thank you for joining us, founder of Valley of Love Ministries.
Good
Welcome,
evening.
beautiful.
Good evening, Dr. Trube. Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be with you guys this evening. We run a ministries that called the Valley of Love. I mean, we run actually two, a foundation that's called Queen Mazazi Foundation. It's here in Florida, in Dominican Republic, in Haiti, also in Africa. And we also have, we run a 501c3 nonprofit organization that's called the Valley of Love Ministries. We've been doing it for over 20 years. We have the homeless, the less fortunate. We have elderlies. We have children that's homeless. We're the only pantry that's open 7 days a week. People can call us anytime for food. We're always open. And we also have homeless people or less fortunate get back on their feet. So just like I said, like we've been doing this for over 20 years. So now we're helping the youth in Haiti right now. I mean, actually, like we're helping the youth all over the world, not only in Haiti, because remember the youth, they are our future for tomorrow. So what we're doing right now, we want the young people to help themselves. How? We doing a phone and internet program for them. We're trying to provide 120 phones and internet to the youth in Haiti at this time. So, because a lot of our young people in Haiti, like they have a little flip phone, but they don't really have an Android phone or an iPhone. So, we're really trying to help them to get the phone. So, because remember, just like I said earlier, they are a feature because especially what's going on right now in Haiti, it is terrible. Those our youth, our young people, they're dying. Their self-esteem is very low because all they hear all day is shootings, boom, boom, boom. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, that's all they hear. So that's the reason why we're trying very hard to help the youth, to help the young people because they need our help. We have to stand up for them, for our young people, because it is too much for them what's going on. But not only for young people in Haiti right now, as you all know, the gang members just take over the country. The gang members just take over the country, and we don't even have a real government because even the so-called government that we have, they're all a part of the gang members. So
Mhm.
Hades right
That's
now
right.
need your support. It needs your help. We need your prayer. We have a lot of people that starving. I mean, a lot of people have big businesses, but now the gang members just took over the place. They burned their place. I mean, all kind of crazy things going on over there. So we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. If anybody want to support one of our young people, two, three, four. If you want to help with food, it is a tax, it is tax deductible. You can support us. We do have Zelle, we have Cash App, we have PayPal. You can
You
help.
have the GoFundMe.
Yes, also like we have the GoFundMe that we created. It's the Valley of Love Ministries, created by what's the name again? It's created by I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the group that's created the GoFundMe. But once you go to GoFundMe and type the Valley of Love Ministries, you can donate $10, $20. Okay. If 10 people donate $10, that's $100. If
It's
10
a federal health
people,
coalition.
if 10 people donate $20, that can help. So please, we really need your support to help the young people. We really need help because right now we're really trying to see if we can send a container of food to Haiti because people just few months ago, that happened February, I think. A little 11-year-old young girl died because she didn't have nothing to eat. Nothing to eat at all. Myself and Dr. Chube, We've been trying everything. We've been setting everything. Yeah, I mean, like we've been helping from our pockets. But guess what now, family? Our pockets right now is leaking. Because when you help, you help, you help, you help, with no help, what happened? You know, if you have a tree and you keep taking leaf all the time, you're going to get up one day and that tree gonna be empty with no leaf. So we asking at this time if you want to support one person, you know, how much for like one phone again, Dr. Trube? How much is one phone?
Well, the GoFundMe, we can actually um, share the screen. So it's $350 to sponsor a child, and they will get a high-speed phone and a
Mhm.
Wi-Fi hotspot. And the reason why this is important because these youth that we're training for the Global Youth Council, they need to communicate virtually. Just as they could join us on
Yes,
Black Power Radio online, they can't do that if there's no electricity. And so we're asking for that
exactly.
primarily so they can communicate with the youth from around the world, the US, Kenya, Ethiopia,
Yes.
Canada, France. And that's the whole purpose of why we need to really focus on the youth because it's all of us as adults that's negotiating and discussing and bringing solutions. And then we add them as an afterthought. And then 9 times out of 10, it doesn't work. There's too many egos. Again, we don't want that to be the fate for our youth. We want to teach them civic engagement, community development, and leadership. We got perfect examples here. Brother Hanif, as well, Brother Sensei, Noah in Kentucky. Actually, Kentucky is suffering through a large flood. So there's a lot of things that our young people want to solve this problem. So we want to make sure. And the GoFundMe is right there. If you could put it on the screen. Valley of Love Ministries. You can click on it and you can see some of our youth that we had showed the video earlier. We have over 5,000 young people, and we only taking 120 to train them, particularly for an executive global youth council. So these are the things that we'll be highlighting at the Million Youth Rally, September 5th and 6th. But right now, it's about accountability. So we did do a broadcast a couple of weeks ago and of this weekend as well as to why the real truth about what's happening with Haiti. And again, it's the same colonizers that are oppressing us here in the United States that is oppressing Haiti. So if we're not coming together as the diaspora, as blackface revolutionaries, doesn't matter what group you are, they still know, refer to us as a Negro. A Negro is a Negro is a Negro. But if we put all of our heads together and start creating alternatives and strengthen each other, doesn't matter what country you're from, but if we are suffering from the same colonizer, that we have a duty, we have a right, we have an obligation to bring something new and fortify our young people so they can know how to defeat the enemy strategically with the power of the pen,
Mm-hmm.
power of their mouth, and
That's
eventually
right.
self-defense. And we're not going there because self-defense can mean anything. We don't promote violence. It's just
Don't forget the power of the dollars.
yes. So that's also one of the changes is economics. So with that being
One
said, we
one thing I
thank you
want to
again,
say,
That's why we
Dr.
yes.
scream
Trube.
Black Dollar at the Black African Wall Street. Black Dollar. My organization is supposed to be the Black Dollar for all of y'all other organizations.
One thing I
Yes,
want to say,
that's right. Right on.
just one thing I want to say, the more you give, the more you what? The more you receive. I have a testimony. I remember
Mhm.
one time I was going through it with my ministry. It was very hard for me. And then a friend sent me $700 from Haiti to help the ministry. And then at that time, even my car broke down. I was like, Lord, what is going on? So I called a friend. She came, she picked me up and took me to the transfer company. So just while I was sitting in her car, somebody called her. She was complaining, saying, "Oh my gosh, my light is off, my water turned off," and she have like 4 or 5 kids. She had one that's handicapped, and then just I heard a noise that said, "Give it to her, give it to her." Then I said to her, My sister, how much money do you need? She said, well, $300 for my light bill and $300 for my water bill. Something tell me to give it to her. Then I said, you know what? Here's the $600. Go ahead. She said, are you sure? I said, yes, I want to give it to you. I'm telling you, that night I went to sleep. I was like, I did something positive. I was like, thank you, Lord. I mean, I was so happy. Guess what? 2 weeks later, less than 2 weeks, Channel 25 came to the ministry. I raised over $25,000. I was able to pay all of my bills, pay everything. But the sad story about it, that same woman that I helped with the $600, she could not understand. I received the money because of the $600 that I give her. Right? She came when she saw people coming in bringing $2,000, $3,000, $50. She went. She got so upset and left. That same woman that I helped with the $600.
Well,
You
haters
hear
gonna
me?
hate. That's
Yeah.
how it is, right?
You
But
know, that same woman that I helped, you know,
Same woman that I know, you know?
well, that's the ups and downs of being
That's the
righteous.
ups and downs of being righteous.
Some of us hate
Some
greater than we
echo.
love.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. Absolutely. So
I'm telling
continue to
you.
be positive, family, and we put the
Mhm.
GoFundMe up. So please learn about the international issues because we all are one. We are one game, God, one aim, one destiny, and we got to move
Amen.
forth to self-determination for we the people. That's what it's all about. All right. So thank
Amen.
you, Queen Sister Mazazi, for
I
the
love you
work.
so much.
And
Thank you so
yes,
much for all the work. Let me tell you, family, this young, she don't sleep at all. She's
Team No
up
Sleep.
all night long. Listen, if she get 2 hours sleep, it's a miracle. She works
Yes, yes.
so hard, and Dr. Truby, I want to tell you that God really gonna bless you
He's
more,
gonna bless
more,
us
more, and
all.
more.
Thank you so much. It's a
God
team
gonna
effort.
Thank you
bless
so
you.
much. It's a
It takes a village.
God has never stopped blessing us. We just need to act like it more often.
Yes, absolutely. So that's why I say it takes a village. I may be a little militant in my speech, but it's all for good favor. We can't be slacking, family.
Favor.
We
We
cannot
can't
be
be slacking,
sleeping at this
family.
hour.
We cannot be
This
sleeping
is
at
where
this hour.
Hit him again, Mike Tyson.
bam, 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 two-shot uppercut. All right.
I
Well, we
love you,
thank you again.
family. I love
Well,
each and
thank
every
you,
one of
family.
you.
I love each and
Thank
every
you
one
so
of you.
much. Thank you.
Yes, all right. Thank you so much for being here, Sister Queen Mazazi, holding it down for Haiti.
Bonsoir, au revoir.
Haiti.
Haïti,
Bonsoir,
Haïti,
bonsoir.
Haïti,
Oui, oui,
Haïti,
oui, ça passe.
Haïti, Haïti, ça passe. N'a boulé.
That's right. That's right. Amen. Amen. And so we are going to bring you some more of SOS Haiti. It is a campaign, family. If you don't know, we got some celebrities that's on board. We're talking about Rihanna, we're talking about Akon. It's called SOS Haiti, and we are going to bring you right here on Black Power Radio some of the prolific members of this initiative. And so stay tuned because right now Haiti is on the map. Try to do a
That's right.
drive-by. Can't do it on the first Free Black Republic. No, sir. No, sir. All right. So with that being said, we thank you again. And I want to leave out with the famous quote of one of our greatest politicians, Adam Clayton Powell, reminding us that Black is beautiful. You're listening to Black Power Radio.
I went to St. Louis, Missouri the other day. They had Black Panthers from all over the country. No one knew about it at all. They had machine guns, recoilless rifles, grease guns, Lugers, 25 of them, all armed. And the chief of police met me at the airport when I arrived, and they were there, right there at the steps. He said, "You were violating the law." "Yeah, we're violating the law." He said, "We're tired of our white and black leaders, Jackie and Martin and Bobby, being killed. We're going to protect this man while he's here." And they didn't arrest one of them. Because they said if you arrest one, then someone's going to die, because we are ready to kill. Black power means black dignity. Just as surely as you're proud to be white, we're proud to be black. Black is beautiful, baby. It's pretty. I always say to my brothers, I say, baby, don't worry about the white chicks. We got everything from chalk to charcoal in our own race. You see? Black is beautiful. Black is beautiful. Black power means dignity. It means we're going to walk side by side with you or through you. We're going to be with dignity and integrity. We don't want any more than you have, and we're not going to accept any less than you have. That's black power.
All right. Just a clip of his speech at UCLA at the time, and that is famous words of Madam Clayton. Okay, reverb. Can we get some?
Take it all back, make it all black. Just like that.
Right on. So we thank you again for joining us on Black Power Radio. See us next week at same black time, same black channel. We have a special guest. At same black time. Author of Amy Jake's New World. Can you mute your mic, my brother? Thank you for the reverb.
Yes, ma'am. What's that?
Thank you for the mute your mic, please?
Oh yes, always. And
thank you so much. All right, so next week we're going to have.
I'm probably gonna do like.
All right, family.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have
New World. You got feedback, brother. You got to mute yourself. Okay. So we're gonna end the show, right? This is the end of Black Power Radio. 10:30.
Yes. Join us
Everybody
next
got
week as we have Sister Alicia, the author of Amy Jake's Garvey, and yes, the wife, the other Amy of Marcus Garvey. So if you know, brush up on your history of Marcus Garvey, it's going to be a fun-filled interview April 13th. So join us next Sunday with our special guest and author. So that being said, love your family. Power to the people. Keep it black and keep it strong. Keep it revolutionary. I'm your host.